Eh? Hey guys,
Hi.
welcome back to It's a Magical Thing. Look who's back.
Back again.
Daren's back.
Tell a friend.
Look who's back, look who's back, look who's back. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, yeah, life did feel so empty without you. Okay, that's enough M&M references. Here we are.
At the back of a 37.
On our way into
Waterlooville.
Yes, the villa of Waterloo. So we're going to Waterlooville.
Nice.
Okay.
Interestingly enough, there used to be a tram network in Waterlooville.
Never. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, it went in 1935, unfortunately, so neither of us got to see it.
Well, no, because we weren't born yet. My granddad was only 5 years old. So...
None of my parents were even born yet.
Next stop, Herbrook Way roundabout.
No.
We're expecting light rain in about 15 minutes
We'll be inside the bus. So it's not
until we
gonna-
get to Waterlooville.
Yes, it's
now the
not gonna
39 takes about 40 minutes. Speaking of the 39, there's just one coming up now.
Yep.
The 39 takes about 40 minutes to get to Waterlooville,
Yeah.
whereas this bus takes about 25
Indeed.
minutes. If even that.
Indeed. So what we'll do, guys, is we'll take a break
Join us in a bit.
after this.
Hello there. Welcome to the Danielle Smith series, where every story you'll see will feature our main character, Danielle Smith, as she sets off on adventures with her parents and her father's wacky inventions. The first episode is called Danielle Smith and the Time Machine. It was a very typical day at the Smith household, and Danielle Smith was watching one of her favorite time travel films on television when she heard a loud noise coming from her father's workshop.
What's that noise?
She went down there to see what was going on when her father, Professor John Smith, smiled and beckoned her forwards,
Come on in, Danielle.
and she walked curiously towards her parents. Her mother, Linda, smiled at her and asked if she'd like to see her father's new invention.
Would you like to see your father's new invention, Danielle?
Yes, please.
Danielle, who was 8 years old by the way, replied excitedly. Professor John and Linda whisked off the tarpaulin to reveal a car.
But Mom and Dad, that's just a car. Those have been around for years. You didn't invent them.
Oh no, my dear girl, the car isn't what we've invented, but it's what we built into it that is our new invention.
Professor John showed Danielle exactly what he'd built inside the car. As she looked inside, she was so impressed her mouth fell wide open. There was a flux capacitor, time circuits, a modern viewing screen, and a costume generator that would change the time travelers into the appropriate clothes for the time period they'd traveled to.
Is this what I think it is?
That's right, love. That in there is a time machine.
Does it really work?
That's what we're hoping to find out now if you'd like to join us.
Replied Professor John, and she accepted the invitation. They all got seated in the car while John and Linda set the coordinates and put the time machine into flux. John then took the steering wheel and drove them carefully out onto the road before flooring it up to 100 miles per hour, only to open a vortex and find themselves driving through a Victorian landscape. As their clothes morphed into Victorian-style outfits, and the car changed its appearance to that of a horse-drawn cart, they stopped.
According to the information on the screen, we are in London in the year 1860.
Even though they were now dressed like the locals of the period and appeared to be sitting in a horse-drawn carriage, there was no hiding or disguising the actual time machine itself, which did indeed work as they had gone back in time. Just before someone saw them just sitting there, growing suspicious of their strange behavior, John pushed the return button on the computer and the time machine returned them home to the workshop in 2003. They were back in their normal clothes and the time machine was a car once more. As they left the workshop,
I promise never to use the time machine without permission and without an adult, as I am underage and there are risks.
Here we are, guys,
Here we are.
in the junk emporium in Waterlooville. But you won't believe what we've just been looking at outside.
I know. We've been looking at some really vintage classical cars.
We have. Because there's a car show going on outside at the moment.
And then we thought we'd come in here and have a look at some classical toys.
Well, you know what they say, one person's trash is another person's treasure.
Yeah. And that couldn't be more true. I mean, look at this, James.
This place is basically like an indoor car boot sale. So
Yeah.
okay,
Join us back in a bit.
after this, guys.
Get ready to peer into a world of possibilities and discover what it would be like if Toy World Saga characters were human. First of all, James Barrett is a real person. He has brown hair and wears anti-flare glasses. He's wearing a red-collared t-shirt, blue trousers, and blue Skechers shoes. Is that Tilly Tot? Yeah, it is. Look at her bright red hair, green eyes, and freckles. She has a purple dress with a yellow blouse and a white floral patterned top. She also wears purple boots to match her dress. Did you catch that? If not, that was Sonic the Hedgehog. He's blue and wears red running shoes. He is the fastest thing alive. As a human, he's just an athletic young boy with blue hair and large spikes and green eyes who hopes to be in the Olympic Games someday. And there's the Roberts family from Dorchester. Barbie is a very pretty woman in her 30s. She has long blonde hair and blue eyes. She owns an ice cream parlor in the city. That's her mother Sylvia, a fashionista in her 60s. She's also very pretty with long, wavy blonde hair and gray eyes. She wears a shiny pink dress. That little girl is Barbie's daughter Chelsea. She is a sweet little girl with blonde hair tied up in pigtails. She wears a pink t-shirt and purple trousers. She can be very naughty at times. There are lots of citizens in Toy World, and those were just a few. Hope you enjoyed. See you later.
Welcome back, guys.
Indeed.
And boy, was that a trip.
Definitely it was. I mean, there we were looking around all the cars. There were some are vintage, others are classic, and I found both Milky Way cars.
Yeah. And we saw a very famous time machine.
Yes,
The DeLorean. No, Doc Brown wasn't there.
that's a shame. I actually got to sit inside of the DeLorean
Yeah,
when I did the computing conference in 2021.
yeah. That's the first time I've seen one up close. But never got to sit inside it.
Now, unfortunately, the bars were there. I got to sit inside a couple.
Yeah.
That B car was buzzing for success, so. James, could you send me those pictures when you get a chance?
Yeah.
Too bad I couldn't take any of you.
Oh, I think the man thought we were both going to get in, but there was only enough room for one of us in the car.
Yeah.
Oh, good bird. Where's Devil?
But I loved it. It was just incredible. So what we're doing at the moment is we're on a step.
Yeah,
we're going
right.
to Cosham. We're going to have a look around Cosham.
Yeah.
I might see if I can pick up some more trousers. Actually, while I think about it. But I do obviously need to get a sanctuary,
Well, I wanted to go train I didn't know.
Yeah.
which I do plan to do.
I don't know. I'm just literally
So,
in bus now to Boston.
looking forward to an adventure in Cosham.
Yeah.
Excellent. Anyway, join us back in a bit.
after this, guys.
Yeah, I'll just go straight down.
Tales of Magic. Ruth Jackson, Over the Rainbow. Ruth Jackson was a young girl who lived with her parents Patrick and Jasmine and little sister Wilhelmina in a cosy cottage deep in the countryside. They were a very happy family who had to live in secret because they were a family of wizards. Ruth was only just 11 years old and waiting for her invitation from any of the magical academies to join them as a pupil. As she made her way out to play in the meadow behind their house, she saw a rainbow shining over the sky, even though it wasn't raining. She approached it to find a little man dressed in green, his face adorned with a red beard.
Ruth Jackson, I presume?
Hello there, I'm Ruth Jackson.
It is simply splendid to meet you, young Miss Jackson. My name is Seamus the Leprechaun. I represent the staff at the Rainbow Academy of Magical Arts, and they've sent me to offer you a place at our school.
Just then, Patrick and Jasmine came to see what was going on. Seamus knew them very well from their days as students at the school, and they were thrilled when Seamus told them he was there to recruit Ruth to the Rainbow Academy of Magical Arts, as it was where they went to school and first met each other. Now, it was time for their eldest daughter to attend the school.
I'll go in and get her registered. Wilhelmina needs one of us here to look after her.
Jasmine agreed and saw them onto the magic rainbow. She watched as they walked over the rainbow with Seamus. They soon arrived on the other side in a very colourful, magical world. These were the grounds of the Rainbow Academy of Magical Arts, and they approached the student registration kiosk. Ruth was awestruck at the sight of the witch in charge of the kiosk. Her name was Luna Wandsworth. She taught the charms classes and, by the look of her, she had a strange, pointy growth on her head.
Excuse me, Professor Wandsworth, are you a shifter by any chance?
I am indeed, young Ruth. I can shapeshift into a unicorn.
Professor Wandsworth took down Ruth's information before showing Ruth her shifter form of a unicorn. Ruth applauded as they moved on to the red boarding house, where she'd be living with her first-year classmates, who were very pleased to meet her. She became friends with a young wizard named Razor and a young witch named Wanda Harrison. The house staff walked out onto the platform to welcome them. The housemaster Grant Chester was standing behind the podium giving his welcome speech. Alongside him was the housemistress Eileen Speckle, the house matron Lily Lovely, and the house doctor Horatio Hollister. These three main wizards were also shifters, but you'll see what they can shapeshift into next time.
And we're back.
And we're back, guys. The final leg of this video, this episode.
Absolutely.
Filming it in the centre aisle.
Of the 23.
Yeah.
So it's like a bookend.
Yeah.
Because we started on the 23.
And we're ending on a 23. But we also took the middle journey on a
23.
Did we?
No.
No, we didn't.
No, we took the middle journey on the 37.
No, hang on. Yes, we took our second. We got a 23 back from Portsmouth faster than we arrived there.
Yeah, to haven't. No, that's
So,
right.
yeah, well, we're not going to get into the circumstances of why we didn't stay there as long as we normally do.
No. Let's just say that the magic was telling us to go elsewhere. And we had bigger ideas to go elsewhere.
Well, yeah.
I mean, look at what happened to us in Waterlooville. For one thing.
Yeah,
We were destined to be there.
I should have filmed something at the car show, but
At least we can talk about it.
I was hesitant to because of the music they were playing. It wasn't all classical.
No, a good amount of it was.
Well, I was tempted.
Yeah. So anyway, we hope you enjoyed this video.
If you enjoyed, please like, comment, share and subscribe.
Thank you for watching.
And until next time, have a magical time.
Bye.